Shalom, brothers and sisters. By us, really, really cold. By a lot of you, very, very hot. Others, just all sorts of other chaotic weather situations. Emergency management fear 2-day blackout in Phoenix could lead to a medical disaster impacting close to 800,000 people. According to new research published this spring, a 2-day citywide blackout in Phoenix during a heat wave could lead to half the population requiring emergency medical attention in a metropolitan area with only 3,000 beds. As many as 12,800 people could die, the equivalent of 9 Hurricane Katrinas. So that's hectic considering what we know is coming. And you know what? They're talking about heat waves here, but I'm sitting here in the cold and we don't have power for stretches of 4 hour plus at a time. It's just as bad with cold weather. And in colder parts of the world, you can freeze to death because now you don't have access to heaters and things like that at all. Power outages can happen during a heat wave for a number of reasons. The most obvious is because of strain on the power grid as everyone cranks up the air conditioning at the same time. By one estimate, 2/3 of North America is at risk of energy shortfalls this summer during periods of extreme demand. Blackouts can be city and state-wide, with 11 million people without power following the deadly grid failure in Texas in 2021, or rolling to prevent a more catastrophic failure, or localized, like when wildfires take down power lines and transmissions. Storms can knock out power, and they're fearing a malicious cyber attack can take down the grid during extreme heat. What they don't mention is things like we experience in South Africa with regards to corruption and absolute uselessness in letting everything just collapse because it's not important, or being told to make it fail or to have the grid go down when it's supposed to go down, i.e. control. Because here where we are, we're having chaotic outages, for example. We're back in that now again. So a 4-hour stretch followed by another 4-hour stretch, and businesses can't function. They shut down. They eventually go bankrupt. People lose their jobs. Chaos spreads. Never mind all the small things that affect you on an end user level as well, like I've already mentioned. But it's controlled. How do we know it's controlled? The minute the government needs to have an important meeting or an important televised report or something, boom, the power's fine for that time period. Everything works 100%. When they don't need it, then it's controlled. Then it goes down when they need it to go down to create that sense of chaos and urgency. And then don't think you're going to smack on some solar panels and do your own thing. Then they'll bring out legislation to charge you for what you're doing by going off the grid. It's absolute corruption and control, and it's a system of breaking down people's spirits and making them toe the line with whatever the government is telling them to. And they're taking their marching orders, I'm talking South Africa now, directly from the World Economic Forum. We've seen all those connections. And this is happening in most countries in the world. And I mean, now you're seeing it in this article. 2/3 of North America could have a grid problem. How's that starting to come to the fore now and be mentioned? They're mentioning it because they're going to do it. It is coming. It is an inevitable system because they see how well it works in places like South Africa. Fortunately, we should be bouncing out of here soon. God bless. Keep looking up and keep your eyes open and keep watching as we are commanded to do. Shalom.